All right. Welcome in, Nagy Nation, to our Super Wildcard Weekend simulation of the Green Bay Packers at the Dallas Cowboys here in our NFC Wildcard 2v7 seeded game. This one obviously an exciting matchup here, pitting the NFC North versus the NFC East. In a game in which, you know, the coming off the tail end of their very successful run with Aaron Rodgers now taken over by one Love, and then on the back end, or on the other side, the Cowboys, ever relevant, very good, especially on the defensive side, but Dak Prescott and the offense also very good as well, with the number 2 seed in this one. Hey, welcome in Big Dog Q Franklin. Welcome in Dolp. Yeah, we don't know for sure when we're going to do that sim, but we are looking to do that here soon, so possibly tomorrow, but we'll make sure to update you if you're on the Discord as to when to expect that, as the kick received by Dallas, so they'll have the ball first. Dak Prescott to take the field in the early goings of this one. Welcome in, Earl. Go Browns. So look at Dak Prescott's numbers on the season. Obviously, that's only for in the sim, where we forced wins to match the records. Out of the gun is Dak Prescott. Little handoff goes to Pollard. Pollard fighting for space out to the outside, is only able to find 1 yard there. Gary in on the tackle. And yes, there will be a Dolphin sim at some point. We're hoping to try to get to all of these wildcard weekend sims if we can, if we have time. And this one is complete to CD Lamb downfield. Nice little in-cutting slant, or not slant, that was a post route on the outside for 19. Too deep to be a slant. But nice post underneath the coverage to CD Lamb is completing a big pickup and a first down. Stretch out to Pollard to the left side. He's got a little bit of space, and he's going to find another 3 yards there. But we are going to try to get to all of the wild card weekends if we can. Some of them may be on no commentary on them, just for time constraints with our schedules. But we will try to get them all. And obviously, as we get further into these playoffs, we'll make sure to get as many of the games as we possibly can, especially with commentary, as there are fewer, it'll be a little bit easier to do, as pressured out of the backfield and throwing it away is Dak Prescott. That will bring up a 4th down and a punt. Hey, Wendell, welcome in. So, I don't think the Steelers have much of a chance to win that one. I think the Buffalo Bills will handle business in that one. Yeah, I've heard it's going to be one of the coldest games on record, potentially, for the Kansas City-Miami game, which is not good for Miami, which is supposed to be quite cold. Miami, of course, tends to be a bit of a fair weather, warm weather team, and it could be interesting for them. We'll see how they fare, as this one is going to be unleashed downfield, wide open down the sideline, just all by himself. All kinds of room in there in that defense for Reed to operate, and he has a big reception downfield in the early goings for the Packers. And of course, Love being pressured but able to get the ball out somehow, and all alone there, nobody even in the picture with Reed, down the sideline for the Packers with an early deep ball to get them out past midfield. I'll hand off, and he's going to find a little bit of space. Does Jones, call it 2 yards. That is true. Some of their players have experienced the cold. I mean, I'm not going to say not all of them are. That just that as a team, organizationally, they tend to be a bit more of a fair weather team just because of where they play. That one incomplete, looked like it was dropped. Bring it up to 3rd and 8. Love with the snap, firing downfield, got another man and just tipped away. He had a step or two, but unable to get it out over the outstretched hands of Lewis. who broke that pass up, and Green Bay going to come up empty here on what was a very promising drive. That one probably should have been completed. A little bit more loft from Love on that one, and a bit of a shank on the punt to boot. And here we are with the Cowboys on the 21 and another opportunity, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, trips to his left. He's going to fire to his left. He's got it complete, Ferguson. And that will be a quick first down here for the Dallas Cowboys on their second drive. I don't think, Dope, I don't think that it's very likely to see a Steelers-Ravens matchup in this particular playoffs, as I don't expect the Steelers to make it beyond Wildcard weekend. I think that's an unlikely scenario. It's possible, of course, any given Sunday, right? But they're dealing with some pretty significant injuries, none less so than the injury to T.J. Watt. Sounds like he will not be in that game, and that, of course, is a huge part of what they want to do on the defensive side. Back to pass. Now firing middle. He's got it complete. Gallup is the receiver, and another first down. So some efficiency here on the second drive for Dallas, as they have found a bit of a rhythm here on offense, seemingly. And again, taking some advantage of the space in the zone there is Dak Prescott. And they are out now to the past midfield themselves. From under center and I formation, all of his receivers out to the right. Back to pass, now scrambling out to his left. He's trying to escape, he's not going to. A big sack there. Smith gets in there to get a sack on Dak Prescott, as he could not escape the pressure. Excuse me. Pardon me, got a little tickle in my throat there. I needed to cough a bit to get it out. But first one just caught me by surprise, and the second one I was able to mute for y'all. But Cook's the receiver, that one, for 21 yards, so the efficient drive continues here as Dallas able to get it downfield pretty effectively. Three-man rush over the middle, complete. Excuse me, four-man rush, complete to Ferguson there, his second reception of the ball game. Pick up a 7. I do think that this will be a very focused team. I agree. I think this is a really great opportunity with what they have ahead of them and the mentality that they've got, and the adversity that they've risen to throughout the season. I think really bodes well for this particular playoff run, and we'll see how it actually works out in practice. But all things look good so far, as this one is complete over the middle. A strike from Dak Prescott goes to Brandon Cooks, and he's got it into the 10-yard line. And yet again, another picking apart example of picking apart that defense, just finding the littlest margin there in the zone and just throwing it right on time as the receiver flashes open in that space. Nicely done. Hey, Mitchell, welcome in. Go Browns. Dak to pass, now scrambling out to his left, and a flag down. I think maybe a hold here as he was scrambling outside of the pocket. It is a hold, and the problem with scrambling outside of the pocket is sometimes it changes the leverage angle for the blockers. It gets their arms in the wrong position, which often leads to a hold when you reset that pocket to the outside. Swing complete to Ferguson over the middle, and a 2nd and 10 makes up for that holding yardage. And they're back to the 10. Hey, Dwayne, welcome in. Go Browns. Very excited to have all of you here as we continue our playoff push here at Nagy on Sports. As this one to the end zone and out of the hands of Ferguson. He had it in his hands but dropped. Could not control it. 3rd and 10. That was a great look at the end zone. Had a good throw, just not able to control the ball. Dak Prescott to the middle, touchdown! Gallup gets the ball wide open there in the end zone with a little bit of space, and a bullet there from Dak Prescott gets it done, and the dagger is struck after a very effective drive here for the Dallas Cowboys, just marching down the field primarily through the air, finding seams in the defense and exploiting it with a number of different receivers at the other end of the ball. We saw some action from Cooks. We saw some action from Ferguson. We saw some action from CD. Actually, that may have been the previous live drive with CD. But saw some action from Gallup. So certainly spreading the ball around nicely and taking advantage of what the defense was giving them. And an early scoreline here of 7-0 favoring Dallas, as Green Bay is set to take over here with their second drive. Now, over the middle and knocked out of the hands, incomplete, 2nd and 10. Bunch formation out to the right side. Love from the gun. He is going to fire. Downfield is going to be picked! Didn't see the defender jumping the route, and he throws a bad ball directly to Bland, who takes it away and puts Dallas right back in scoring position with the ball on the 20. A bad pick there, delivered by Love. He just did not see Bland stepping right in front of his tight end, and Bland takes that one away. And Dallas Cowboys right back in business, able to potentially extend their lead to 2 touchdowns here. Certainly an opportunity. Prescott fires out to his right side, and that one nearly picked in return. Oh my, that one could have gone the distance. Very fortunate for Dak Prescott that one was dropped and not handled. Prescott now firing out to his left side, misses CeeDee Lamb. Not a great throw there. Seems a bit rattled after the near pick that might have been 6. 3rd and 10. Prescott working up in the pocket. He's just going to take off with it, and he slides down to the 15. Where it'll be 4th and 5, and after a great opportunity set up by that Bland interception, we are going to probably see the kicking unit and still a 2-score lead, but not the 2-score lead they were looking for, as a perfect opportunity resulted in a net of 5 yards and a field goal to boot. So there it is, 10-0 the score line here, as Dallas does at least capitalize with some points on the turnover. So, 5:05 left in the first quarter here. Get another look at Love and this Packers offense as they come out to try again, and he's going to have to try to put that interception behind him here. Fortunate for him, the defense stood tall and forced the field goal. This time out to the right side, just a really lazy kind of lob, as he was fortunate that Dobbs was able to come away with that catch for 4. Or Dubes, I suppose. I'm never entirely sure on the pronunciation of that name, as this one is aired way deep. He's got a man out there, but an ugly throw from Love. Not his best work there. And a 3rd and 6 is coming, as he had too much on it. Now Love has it complete to the left side. Dubes again. Dobbs, Dubes. But a first down, the result. There's a little stick route there. He had his options. The defender went with the right option. He goes to Dobbs instead. To his left in the vacancy that is created. That's the entire intent. Put the defender in a bind between 2 different spots in the zone. Has 2 receivers to defend. Picks one, and you go to the other. That is the entire intent of a sticks route concept like that one. 2nd and 8. Of course, you have to do it at the depth of the sticks. That's why it's called the sticks route, trying to get you the first down. You're really trying to spread that zone and do it at the depths that will guarantee the first down upon reception. 3rd and 8. Now firing downfield, got a wide open in the seam tight end. That one to Musgrave, able to pick up a big chunk, 26 to be precise. Hey, Rick, welcome in. Now in a little ace formation here for the Packers. Going to hand it off. Or no, he's going to fake the handoff and boot action to the right. He's got a levels concept complete downfield. He's got Dubes. And a big first down strike there, as they go over 100 yards for the first time in this game of total offense. Another ace formation. Left to pass, scrambling out to his right side, pressure coming, he's going to fire to the end zone, touchdown Packers! And a response here, Jaden Reed, the receiver in the end zone with the touchdown. And a big strike as he saw Jaden Reed come open in a spot as the pressure was forcing him out of the pocket. Fires a dart downfield and able to get the touchdown for the Packers in a much-needed response as Gilmore and company was kind of soft coverage behind Reed, gave Reed a lot of space to operate there. And the Packers on the board for the first time. Kick is up, kick is good, 10-7 scoreline. Kick is returned out to the 27. That is where Dak Prescott will have it. From the gun. Handoff goes to Pollard. He's got some space up the middle. A 6-yard carry, his best of the day, as he has struggled to get going so far, although they haven't handed it off a lot. 2nd and 4. Now some space as he makes a man miss. Nice little Olay action there. A little stutter step delay makes some space for Pollard, and he has the easy first down with some yardage to spare. 1st and 10, 50 seconds left in the first quarter. Out of the gun, trips formation to his right, back to pass out to the right. He's got it complete and going backwards is Ferguson. And that will actually get no yardage as he was coming back to the ball. Now firing downfield, and he's got it complete. CeeDee Lamb with a tough catch in traffic. And that will take us to the quarter break. The score is 10-7 here at the end of one. There's a look at the stats, relatively even outside of the rushing yards, which are favoring the Dallas Cowboys, but neither team doing a lot on the ground. Predominantly completed or worked through the air for both teams. Fakes the handoff. Prescott feeling pressure, deciding to start to turn, then realizing he didn't actually have pressure. It was kind of an odd look there as he reversed his spin out in the middle of doing it. Very odd. Now firing downfield. He's got a complete. CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb somehow manages to stay in bound and plant a foot to get upfield and manages to gain the first down in the process. Great individual effort there from CeeDee Lamb. Staying in bounds and tight-roping his way up to the first down marker. Now a handoff to Pollard is met very quickly in the hole. He's going to lose one on that TFL. Campbell in there, credited with the TFL. Prescott over the middle and dropped. That was Pollard, the outlet, and well defended. Third and 11. Prescott to pass. He's going to fire downfield. Got a man in the seam and complete to Brandon Cooks. A strike downfield takes him down to the 7. And yet more passing success here for Dallas as they have continued to spread the love around this offense, finding guys in space in this Packers defense and really kind of carving them up, working downfield as they are now set up 1st and goal from the 7. Spread them all wide, all alone, unafraid in the backfield. Prescott to the end zone and knocked out of his hand, intended for CeeDee Lamb. Could not control it. A lot of defenders in the area, but you would have thought CeeDee Lamb typically makes that catch, even contested like that. Out of the gun. Prescott working up in the pocket. He's just going to take off all kinds of space in front of him, and he waltzes into the end zone. Untouched, uncontested. Everyone still with their man, refusing to give up the coverage to realize that Dak Prescott was about to score on him. You can see him finally react, but far too late there to do anything to prevent that one from being a touchdown. And Dak Prescott gets in very easily to make this a 10-point game once more after this PAT, which does indeed extend the lead back to 10 for the Dallas Cowboys. Kickoff is returned out to the 22. And that's where Love will have another opportunity here to try to get himself some more points for the Green Bay Packers. From under center, firing through a bunch of traffic, but does somehow get it to his man. An interesting look there. Not sure that was the wisest of throws, but it did work. 2nd and 6 after that pickup of 4. Complete to Wicks. And off. And Jones is going to be tackled after a modest gain. 3rd and 3. Missed this play because I looked away at the wrong time, but a nice completion out there to Musgrave for a 1st down. Snap is back, complete on that little button route. Pickup of 5. With his 4th reception there. Now Love closed it out. No swing pass to Jones. Makes a man miss with a nice little juke, and he's going to get himself up near the line to gain. And a 3rd and 1 coming after 4 yards on that pickup. Nifty little move to make the first defender miss. Tight bunch to his left. He's going to fake the handoff to Jones, and he's going to complete it out to the right side. And he's got Reed out there. Of course, Jaden Reed with the touchdown for the Green Bay Packers so far in this one. That his 3rd reception now for 70 yards. He's been an integral part of what the Packers have been doing here. Pressure coming, and he's just going to take a big sack way back there. 2nd and 23 coming up. Love could not escape that pressure as Osa able to get in for half of that sack. But the O-line kind of I think they might have been trying to set up a screen because it kind of looked like the O-line let him through there. I didn't see where the receiver for the screen was. I might have missed it, though. But an awful lot of pressure allowed through, and that'll back them up past the midfield mark. Pressure coming again on the blitz, and they are trying to set up the screen that time for sure. Don't like that call at all, and it goes nowhere. Fortunate not to take back-to-back sacks, though, as that one did at least escape that fate, and ends up as they're setting up yet another screen. Yuck! Stop it with the screens. So gross. And the worst possible play call, and they take nothing but sacks as they go backward. Well, sack and an incompletion. 2 sacks and an incompletion on what I believe were 3 screen plays in a row. Did not fool Dallas nor anyone else as they sat there and just went backwards on those plays. I guess the incompletion wasn't backwards, but still no positive gain either. So not what you're looking for. Very poor play calling there. And here we are with Dallas and an opportunity to extend this lead. 8:44 left in the half. And Dallas could really crack this one open with another successful statement drive here. Quick throw to Ferguson. Picks up 2. Lead out to the outside, got some space somehow. Gallup, the receiver. And a tricky little move there to avoid the defender and get extra yardage out of that. That was kind of slick. Nixon makes the tackle eventually, but not before he kind of got diced a bit there. And this one complete very quickly to Pollard on a little bit of a wheel route to the outside. And another first down for him. That one on a pickup of 10. See him on the wheel route there. Nice little throw from Dak Prescott right in stride. And he's able to continue upfield with the ball. 1st and 10. Tight bunch formation to his right. Dak Prescott to pass, throws out to Ferguson, and he is going to pick up 4 on the little out route out of that bunch. Now, complete downfield to Pollard. He's going to go in. Touchdown on another little wheel route. Pollard finding some space, and then just a beautiful ball from Dak Prescott, dropped in a bucket. Look at this one here. He's out on the outside, drops it just past the defender, but before the safety could get there, Pollard does the rest. Nice little exchange of the football to the outside, just like they coach you to. Prevents a lot of those turnovers because it's harder for them to get their hands in there and pop it out. And that one works to perfection as Dallas does extend their lead. And there was the statement drive they were looking for, making this a 24-7 ball game and looking very much in charge, doing it as that momentum meter is fully pegged in the Dallas side of things. So the Packers going to have some work to do if they want to get themselves back in this game, but it's going to start with an important drive here as they need to find a response to all of that fireworks from the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys just made it look easy, and realistically the Green Bay Packers need to find a way to do something similar here if they want to stay in this game. Now out of the I formation. Jalen Love. Scrambling and throwing it away is Love. And that one will bring up a 2nd and 10. Tight bunch formation to his right out of the gun. He's got Jones on the left hip. He is going to hand it off to Jones on an inside zone look, and not much doing. He will gain no yardage. Leighton Vander Esch in on that tackle. Now a little bit of a shot put throw there from Love, a bit of short arm, but he does get it there to Musgrave. His 3rd reception, 52 yards for him on the day. And a 1st down. And Love out to his right side. On the outlet was Jones, and he's going to lose some yards there. 2nd and 13 coming. Hey, fella Grand, welcome in. Go Browns. And another look at Jones out of the backfield. This time he picks up one of those lost yards back. Love to pass. Trying to set up yet another screen. Did you not pay attention to the last drive? Those are not working for you. Maybe not call screens. Anything but screens at this point. Yeah, no, this is probably what you might expect out of a game like this. I think this one is one of the more likely ones to be a bit lopsided, along with the one we saw from Phil. Or actually, Phil didn't even call it. He just put it up without commentary. But the Buffalo-Pittsburgh matchup probably a little bit more likely to be a little bit lopsided as well. A lot of times the 2-7s have a tendency to go that way, especially when some teams, sneak their way into the playoffs that But, also there are times where teams that are very good sneak their way in that maybe had a rough start, didn't have the best record, had to make up for it, and they're hot at the right time, and they sneak in with the 7 seed and then do great things in the playoffs. Now, I don't know that that's likely to be either Green Bay or the Steelers in this case, but as we certainly saw some of the Steelers' woes at times, even later into the season, and Green Bay struggled, kind of an up and down season for them, where they had some success, but they also were little up and down, like I said. So we'll see how these games go, but certainly feel that both Buffalo and Dallas probably a little bit too much to handle for either one of these squads. But Walker does get in there with a very nice sack on Dak Prescott, 2nd and 19, as he kind of came in unblocked. 2:16 left in the first half here. Handoff goes to Pollard on a little stretch. He makes a man miss with a beautiful stiff arm, just gets him off of his hip and able to somehow escape that. But that is going to take us down to the 2-minute warning here. Now Prescott. Pocket holds, and he's going to fire downfield. He's got a wide open Ferguson for an absolute seed downfield on a big, long 3rd down, and an even bigger conversion here, as Dak Prescott had all kinds of time to find his tight end, and the defense just couldn't hold up that long. Pass rush not able to do its job on that one. 1:19 and counting in the half. Dallas with a great opportunity to really cement their lead here. And now Ferguson unable to hold on. 2nd and 10. That does stop the clock with 1:13 to play in the half. 2nd and 10. Got a pistol look here. Stacked receivers to his right. He's going to fire to his left side, and it is caught somehow. Really nice catch there for Brandon Cooks, and all kinds of traffic contested to be sure. That is going to take us to a timeout from Dallas as they stop the clock with just over a minute left, and an opportunity to extend by a significant margin here and make them feel really good coming out of the locker room for half. That one complete again. Brandon Cooks with another nice catch. That is short of the end zone, but they've got some clock yet. 30 seconds and counting on the 4. It is 2nd and goal. Defense comes out in a goal line set out of this from under center touchdown, and he's got it complete. CeeDee Lamb. And a big strike here for Dallas as they were able to yet again get into the end zone and really open this one up wide open before the beginning of the second half. They had an excellent drive to cap this one off, managing the clock nicely, doing that one with just 30 seconds to spare with the last snap, and they'll give it back to Green Bay with under about, well, it depends on if it goes out of the end zone, either 20 or 15 to 20 seconds, depending on what happens here on the kick. They are going to return it, so we're going to be closer to 15 here, as it is 17 seconds is where we end up, as Jordan Loves comes back out onto the field. I'm wondering if they're just going to take this one to the locker room here with a 31-7 deficit. It is not pretty. They do run the ball, looking to just take this one into the locker room, it would seem, after a 3-yard pickup. They're not going to get another snap off. That's where the half will end. 31-7 for Dallas. And this one has all the makings of an ugly blowout, as it has been all Dallas so far in this one. As the scoreline reflects, you can see the stats there. Passing yards 298 to 143. That's really the difference in this game. And there's a look at the NFC side of the wild card. This is, of course, our first NFC Wildcard matchup on the books here at Big Eon Sports. So glad you're here with us. If you are a subscriber of the channel, we very much appreciate you. If you haven't yet had a chance to subscribe, we'd appreciate that as well. And if you would like to take your fandom of the channel to the next level, welcome to join us anytime on the Discord. There is a link to that in the description of this or any of our videos, and that will allow you to join the conversation in between sims and in between games. We have live game chats that we host there on the Discord channel, as well as talking all things NFL, all things Browns. We do also provide Spotlight Games of the Week, where we have the fan base vote on what games they'd like to see. Of course, in the playoffs, we're trying to bring all of the games, so we don't have any active polls for that right now, as we're trying to get them all out there in the playoff mode. But also, there's opportunities to vote on other polls. Check us out for the off-season. We've got a lot of stuff going. That one is complete downfield with an absolute strike here and a much-needed chunk of yardage here for the Packers. Again, Reed, the receiver, he has now broken 100 yards. Actually, exactly 100 yards on his day. After that one, fired downfield, got another man, touchdown! Dubes into the end zone with a strike from Jordan Love. And man, did the Packers need that drive. That is exactly what they're going to need. They're going to need a lot of it here in the second half, as they are in a big hole. But that's the way. If you want to crawl yourself out of a hole in the NFL, success like that on big chunk drives with just a few plays and quick scores is absolutely the way to do it. So clearly some adjustments here from the locker room, as the Packers are going to take a shot at a two-point conversion here. Handoff is going to be met, and I don't know, he did get in, just barely. Jones, he was met in the backfield. He works out of the tackle and gets himself across the line for the two-point conversion. 31-15 the scoreline after that. And an interesting little wrinkle here, as the Packers have had some early success in the second half. Clearly, like I said, some adjustments made, and they seem to have a little bit of something going. They've got to continue to do that, and they have to, on defense, find a way to stop this very potent Dallas passing attack. Carry out to the left side for Pollard, picks up just one. Now firing over the middle is Dak Prescott, and he's going to get just barely short of the line there. 3rd and inches is where he was marked down. Fakes the handoff. Prescott firing downfield. Got a man wide open in some space. And an absolute strike downfield. Hendershot, the tight end. The backup tight end, able to make a nice over-the-shoulder catch and keep the control and inbounds for a big strike downfield on a 3rd and inches. And the Cowboys kind of caught him napping there, looking for the run probably up the middle, and instead Dallas goes downfield and continues to thrive on what has worked all day for them. Pollard making some space happen there, a little bit slippery there, and somehow managing to pick up 5 yards on what probably should have been a TFL. Now out of the gun. Handoff goes to Pollard. Pollard goes to the outside and picks up a number of yards. Call it 2 yards. A little trap concept right up the middle. Pollard with some space to work. And a big first down. As Dallas continues to have the Packer number here, as they have just had success left and right. And with the hole that you're in, it's not going to work very well if the defense can't hold this potent attack from Dallas. As that was a much-needed defensive play for the Packers, able to force an incompletion on that pressure, 2nd and 10. But they've got to find a way to hold the Dallas Cowboys here if they want to have any chance of getting back into this game. They must continue to drive the ball like they did in the opening drive of this half for them. And certainly have to stand tall on defense and make some plays because they can't afford to give up touchdowns as they're going to right here as he is flipped into the end zone. Jake Ferguson with an acrobatic touchdown as he was tackled and flipped head over heel into the end zone for 6. That was an impressive play, actually kind of fun. Certainly always worry about player safety in positions like that, but it looks like he's going to be just fine. Landed on his hip after he was flipped acrobatically into the end zone, but certainly not what you could afford to do if you're a Green Bay Packer. You could not afford to give up the big, long, sustained drive, resulting in a touchdown, because there just is not enough time if you're going to continue to do that to close this gap. You have to find a way to limit scoring for the Dallas Cowboys and manage explosives and that result in touchdowns for your own side to have any chance to come back in this 38-15 ball game. Tight bunch to his right from under center. Julian Love fakes the handoff. He's looking downfield, firing downfield. He's got it complete. And that one is going to be a big first down. Again, they've got to have this production. Does Green Bay. They have found some success here passing the ball. Not a lot running the ball. Jones trying to change that. He does work through a few tackles, but only picks up 2. But Green Bay has got to find a way here. They have been, lackluster too much of this game. They're going to have to find those explosives. Then another big chunk downfield. This one back to Reed, who has been very productive for them. But they're going to need a lot more of this, and they're going to have this touchdown right now. Really, all of these drives must end in 6 if they want to have any chance. That one, a nice run out to the outside. Continuing to stay with the run game is the Green Bay Packers. I don't know how many times I've begged for the Browns to do the same in positions similar to this. But Green Bay seems able to do that as they back-to-back runs here. 3rd and 2 upcoming. Tight bunch formation from under center. Jones, the lone back. It's going to be a pitch out to Jones, back to the run game, and it's going to be well read by this defense and swallowed up before he could get going. 4th and 3, the result, and that is the last thing you could afford here. Maybe a little bit too much reliance on the run game that hasn't been that successful for you. Maybe they needed to be throwing that ball, but they I think they outwitted themselves on that one, going back-to-back-to-back runs, and now stuck with the 3 points as they're going to close within 20, but still a 3-touchdown advantage to the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott out of the pistol. He's going to hand it off to Pollard. Breaks 1 tackle, could not break the 2nd. He's going to be tackled for a loss of 3. completes the pass is complete to CeeDee Lamb. Does pick up that lost yardage plus a couple. Dak Prescott in and out of the hands of Brandon Cooks, and this defense finally gets the 3-and-out they've needed so desperately here, as they are still in a 3-touchdown hole, but now a glimpse of light here. 4.5 left in the third quarter, and if they can create another explosive drive here, they might have a new ball game, assuming they can find a few more 3-and-outs and some more passing success. They've got to kind of, I mean, I was lauding them for going back to the run game, but not the exclusion of the passing game, as clearly you have a lot of points yet to score, and you need to do it relatively quickly. Hey, welcome in, Terry. Good to see you. That's a good question, how kickers have gotten so much better. I think athletes in general have really, performance athletics and fine-tuning the human body for that peak athletic prowess has come a long way over the years, and I think kickers are, certainly a part of that, as that technique and craft has been honed over the years. But at the same time, kickers really are one of the bigger mysteries in terms of who is going to be good and consistent, because so much of it is a mindset. So, it's kind of like golf that way, where really solid technique and the same approach to your swing every time is a very important piece of the success. But a lot of it is really between the ears. There's tons of mental to the game of golf. And the same thing is true for kickers. Fellegren, I would agree that I think there's really not a team in these playoffs. The big strike downfield of Dubes. That's exactly what they got to have here. 2 minutes left of the third quarter. I think the Browns could go toe-to-toe with any team in the playoffs, and I think they have a realistic shot of winning any one of those games. Am I saying that, 10 times out of 10 they're going to beat all of those teams all 10 times? No, absolutely not. That's not even close to realistic. But I would never count them out. It doesn't feel like the 2020 playoff season where you felt that you had to have a lot go your way. You didn't have a lot of margin for error, you really, you were fortunate to be there in some respects, and excited for the success you had, but didn't know that certain teams were very likely you were going to have a chance to win in that playoff. Didn't feel like you go up against certain teams in that playoff run that you were likely with that team to go in and come away with a W. I don't think that's very much. I don't think a lot of that's the case this season for the Browns. I feel they are going to be competitive against any of the teams fielded in the playoffs right now, and I think they have a reasonable chance to win any one of those games. Now we'll see how they do, but I think they'll be in it, and I think that they're going to fight really hard and stay focused, and really leverage that 1-0 mentality that Stefanski and company have brought to Cleveland, and that's been a huge part of the cultural change, and we are starting to reap the rewards of that installment of that culture. So very, very important. Firing downfield to the end zone, touchdown. Huge response again for the Packers as they are clawing their way step by step back into this game. Reed with his second touchdown, and that so very vital here. And now calling on their defense to find yet another way to stop this potent Dallas attack and capitalize on the success that the offense has been putting on the field as they get themselves into the end zone just on the other side of the third quarter break with effectively, I mean, it's not quite a new game, but they're much closer to it being a new game, just down 13. And an opportunity with a 3 and out here, if they can force a 3 and out, that they could really make this into a game again. After a long time, it feels like, of being absolutely buried in this one. Stretch out to the right side. He's going to be met absolutely before he has control of the ball. Really, in the exchange, practically, was Pollard getting tackled back there for a loss. 2nd and 13 coming up. Out of the gun. Another handoff as Dallas seems content to keep this on the ground and kind of try to just nurse this lead right now. I think they need to open their offense up. 3rd and 10. If they really need to keep their foot on the pedal, they're going to go downfield. They do get the first down. That was an important first down. A 3 and out right there might have been devastating in terms of the momentum in this game. May have given Green Bay the advantage they really needed to get themselves into making it a new game, but that one, a very important conversion as they finally open up the offense for a little bit of production by going downfield with a pass. Now emptying out the backfield as he's changing up the play is Dak Prescott. He's got trips out to his left, back to pass over the middle. He's got to complete to Ferguson, and Ferguson is going to get 6. 13 minutes to play here in this 38-25 ball game. Dallas starting to regain some momentum because they've gone back to the passing attack. Although they're handing this one off, and he's going to be tackled for a loss on that one. 3rd and 7, the result of that TFL. Now out of the gun is Dak Prescott. Back to pass, firing downfield, got him in! Ferguson with a huge catch. And that one felt a bit like a dagger as the defense is ceding ground here in bigger chunks now as the Dallas Cowboys have gone back to the gas pedal and hitting wide open tight ends downfield and seams, which is what their success had been all game long. They had kind of strayed from that earlier, and we saw the results. Green Bay was kind of making a bit of a game of this, but if they continue to do that, it might be good night, Irene. And another first. Oh no, he dropped it. Somehow Brandon Cooks not able to control that. I thought for sure he had that first down. Handoff right up the middle goes to Pollard. He picks up 2, 3rd and 8. So now Green Bay has to find a way to force this field goal in this position, or potentially, best case, a big sack to push them out of field goal range. That one not corralled by Brandon Cooks, brings up a 4th and 8. So the defense is going to force the field goal, which is what they absolutely had to have in this position. And now, still a big ask for the offense, but at least you have a glimmer of hope by forcing a field goal rather than allowing a touchdown and to put it back to a 20-point lead. But instead, the Cowboys are going to extend the lead to a mere 16, which is still 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points away, or 2 two-point conversions away. Pardon, 2 two-point conversions is what they would need with their 2 touchdowns to tie this one up. But so not out of the picture yet. 10:45 to play in the ball game. Green Bay's got their work cut out for them. The defense has to stand on the next drive, but they need to find success here, and running the ball probably not the way to do it. They don't have a lot of time to waste, and running the ball at this point feels like a bit of a waste. They need to be airing it up downfield and finding some receivers in some space. Again, delayed handoff. Running the ball, probably not a good choice. 3rd and 8 now. They're probably going to have to open this one up, which they should have been doing earlier. But let's see what they do here. This is a very important drive, or a very important down in this ball game right now. Back to pass. Now firing out to the outside. He's got his man. That is Reed. He has been the playmaker all day. an absolute safety blanket there. Finding space in this defense yet again. And Jordan Love finds him on that little out route. And some extra yardage after the catch as well. Now an I formation for Jordan Love. Fakes the handoff to Jones. He's going to fire downfield, and he's got it complete. 7-yard pickup. The underneath work is not really what you're looking for. 2nd and 3. Fires out to his right side. Musgrave makes something out of nothing there and able to get a first down and goes out of bounds to stop the clock. Very important there. Actually, no, it does not stop the clock. We're not inside of 3 minutes. And a sack on Jordan Love. Not the best. Still doable here with a 16-point deficit, but the time is slipping away from you here as you're kind of stalling on this drive. Got to find some success. They're looking for that here with an empty look. The blitz the farm. They go down the middle, over the middle. Musgrave have it still on his feet, down to the 25. And a very important strike downfield. That was what you needed. And now an opportunity to punch this one in. They'll need that 2-point conversion as well. But first things first, must get into the end zone, and preferably within the next few plays. Ace formation for the Packers. From under center. Hands it off to Jones. Met by a bevy of defenders. Wasting clock. Not sure why we're doing that. That's probably not the option you're looking for, as you've got to get to the end zone, and airing it is probably the likeliest route to have that success. So maybe you should pass the ball. Then not a sack. Fortunately able to throw it out. Sack would have been devastating in that spot. 3rd and 8 instead, after Jordan Love was able to get rid of it. But now a very critical 3rd down here. Field goal is not going to be enough to keep you in this. Why are you running the ball? Trying to catch him unawares. And it's going to be 4th and 3, and I think you have to go here. That was not the wisest of choices. I suppose maybe they're thinking it's 2-down territory or 4-down territory anyway, and they are. So they're going for this 4th and 3, and this could be the ball game. Quick to the up man. The fullback can't get it done. He danced too much in the hole. Doesn't get there, and the turnover on downs is a devastating mark. And this one is probably going to be all she wrote here as Dallas. All they have to do is run out enough clock on this drive, and the Packers can do nothing about it. An interesting series of events trying to get it to the fullback on the up route. The fullback probably wasn't expecting to have to carry the ball. Does a little dancing in there and gets stuffed. Not what they needed. It probably should have gone with a higher percentage opportunity there. Maybe even thought to, take a strike at the end zone, because they had to have that 4th down, and instead they end up with nothing. And that is probably all Dallas needs here, especially with some success on this drive, although the defense has managed to force a 3rd and 12 now. So perhaps a glimmer of hope, but the 3 and out is absolutely paramount, and this down could be the difference. We'll see. That's Prescott firing deep. He's trying for it all. Got a man down there, and I can't count. No, he did not catch it. Came out of the hands of Brandon Cooks. Holy cow. So, an opportunity still for the Packers. They've got a ton of work cut out for them here, but 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes to do it. So still enough clock, but now you must pass. Go away from the run game. Pass downfield. You need chunks. You got to get them very quickly, and you got to get yourself into the end zone, plus that 2-point conversion. And then it's a question of, do you go for the onside kick, or do you try to get another 3 and out, and with enough time to allow for another touchdown drive? But that is a problem for later in the game, as they're going to finally air it down. They got a man to the end zone. 5 touchdown. an absolutely critical strike, and the first look at Christian Watson in the ball game. He had been so quiet, but finally shows up, and an absolute beauty of a seam thrown right into his hip, in stride to the end zone, untouched, and a crucial chunk. Had to have it, and we have a game, as they are in fact going to go for that 2-point conversion here that they have to have. A little toss out to Jones. He's going to be met, and he's not going to get there. So a 10-point game after the failed 2-point conversion, and it's still 2 scores now with 4:46, and that strike to the end zone probably not enough, as now your clock is really not in your favor, as you still have 10 points the deficit here. Hey, Mason, welcome in. And yes, he was wide open. Absolutely, Phil. Yeah, I didn't like that call on the 2-point conversion either. You know, the run game has really struggled this game. Jones has not had a particularly great game. The Dallas run defense has been stout. A little pitch toss out to Jones is a slower developing play anyway, and so they allowed him an opportunity to come in and do what they've done pretty much all day, which was sniff out the run and stuff it in the backfield, and that did not work. They needed to be throwing. That's where they've had their success, and this, the worst possible outcome here, as Pollard finds space and a first down. That's going to allow Dallas to burn all kinds of time here, as new downs, the last thing that Green Bay wants to concede here with a 10-point deficit and closing in on 4 minutes. Pressure coming. Dak escapes it, and he's going to throw it away. 2nd and 10. From the gun. Prescott fires downfield. He's got CeeDee Lamb, and he's going to get to the midfield stripe, and another first down. 6 receptions for CeeDee Lamb. 70 yards, and he has been very good. In fact, Dallas in general has been very good, spreading out the ball to a lot of different playmakers in that potent attack. And it does not seem that the Green Bay has an answer here, as we are in full chew clock mode for Dallas. Although they're airing the ball out yet, so maybe not full chew clock. They did run out the play clock. However, they pick up 6 yards on that completed pass. So maybe not full chew clock because they're not running the ball, but they do come out with a heavy set. 2 tight ends out to his left side this time. So it does appear they are going to run the clock. The 2 hands on the ball to Pollard. He does get the first down. And chew clock is in full effect now for Dallas, as it should be with this 10-point advantage, just under 2.5 to play, really just over 2 now to play. Closing in on that 2-minute warning in chew clock. Handoff goes to Pollard. He's going to be met quickly at the line, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So 10-point score, or 10-point advantage, Dallas, at the 2-minute warning in the full chew clock mode. That would be fun, Mason. It would be lots and lots of fun to have both Miami and the Steelers win. That would force a Miami versus Cleveland in Cleveland divisional round matchup, which would be an incredible home game for a playoff home game for the Cleveland Brown fan base that has so richly deserved to have one of those. Would be amazing to see that. However, I'd say that that is improbable. I don't really expect the Steelers to win. I'm not saying they can't, but I don't expect them to win that Buffalo game. That Buffalo has been very good, and the Steelers have some critical injuries. None more vital than the one to T.J. Watt. So I don't see them likely to win with their struggles. And then especially as hot as Buffalo has been, they've been very good. And then certainly Miami, I think, could win. But the problem with that one is it's going to be a minus 30-degree game there in Kansas City, apparently. and with a minus 30 on the temperature readout, could be a big problem for a fair weather team like Miami. They're not accustomed to cold like that. That's for sure. As the victory formation is out for Dallas, and this one is going to be finalized, it appears, at 44-31. So there you have it. Final is 44-31. Dallas does not need to snap the ball again. And they have gone through and will be on to the divisional round here in our sim. Assuming this result matches reality, that's what we'll see. As the Packers had a late push but could not ultimately get it done. And a few critical errors there going away from what was working ended up being the difference for them making that improbable comeback. And Dallas holds on with a big win, 44-31. At this point, I'll let Phil scroll through the stats here for you as he is taking a look there at Dak Prescott's day. Look at Tony Pollard, 65 yards on his 25 carries. Ferguson with a lot of action, 11 catches, 114 and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb with another touchdown on his 76 yards, 7 receptions. 91 yards for Cook. Van Der Esch leading the way on the tackles. 1.5 to Parsons, 1 for Osao. And then 1 interception was from Bland. Only resulted in a field goal. So look at the Packers. Love, 28 of 40 for 453 at 70% clip, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, but not enough in this one as they were playing from behind the whole way. Jaden Reed, his leading receiver, with 8 receptions, 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. Romeo Dubes with 1 touchdown as well on his 7 receptions, 95 yards. Musgrave with 90. So a good day for those receivers, but again, not enough to get it done. Really quiet, really, from Watson, which you expected more out of him in this game. He was very quiet at just the 1 touchdown strike late in that ball game. So, anyway, really enjoyed. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mason. Really enjoyed y'all being on here with us here at pnagsports. Enjoyed bringing you here the playoffs on the channel. We will call the ones that we can. I'm not going to promise all of them as our schedules may not allow for all of that, but we'll try to get to all of them here. Here's a look at the picture that we have so far here in our with our 2 games ran here on the channel. But that's the playoff picture for you all, and appreciate you all being on. Thanks for joining us today. We will say, go Dallas, and as always, go Browns!